A percent represents a fraction out of 100. If we look at our hundredths grid here, we can see we have 33 out of 100 shaded. So that would represent 33%. If we wanted to express that as a fraction, we still have 33 squares out of 100 shaded, so that would be the fraction 33 hundredths. When we change between percents and fractions, we don't want to always start with a grid. We can simply start with the percent. Since we know percents represent fractions out of 100, we know our denominator is going to be 100. 18% tells me I have 18 pieces out of 100, so 18 is going to be my numerator. Now when we work with fractions, we have to think about lowest terms. 18 out of 100 is a fraction, but we can still simplify that. Both 18 and 100 are even, so we can divide both our numerator and denominator by 2. When we do, in lowest terms, that puts us as 9 out of 50. So 18% is equivalent to 9 out of 50. We can use the same strategies when going the other way. If we start with our hundredths grid here, we can see in fraction form we have 27 out of 100 pieces shaded. So that would be equivalent to the percent 27%. If we simply started with the fraction and want to go to a percent, first thing we need to do is make this into a fraction out of 100. We have 26 out of 50 now. To get from 50 to 100, we need to multiply by 2. We can do the same thing then to our numerator. 26 times 2 gives me 52, so now we have a fraction out of 100 of 52 hundredths, which means that's going to be equivalent to 52%. Not all fractions can be written as equivalent fractions with denominators of 100. In that case, to change these fractions to percents, we're going to have to start out by dividing them to make a decimal. So we're going to start out with 1/8 by doing 1 divided by 8. Add our decimal points in our 0, and from here we're going to divide. 8 goes into 10 once, minus 8. That leaves me with 2. Bring down another 0. 8 goes into 20 twice, minus 16. That leaves me with 4. Bring down another 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times, and from here we have none left. So as a decimal, 1/8 is equivalent to 125 thousandths. We saw when we were changing decimals into percents that we need to multiply by 100. When we multiply by 100, essentially that moves my decimal back 2 places behind the hundredths place. So to multiply by 100, we're just going to move our decimal back 2 places. So that tells us 125 thousandths is going to be equivalent to 12.5%. So when we make 1/8 into a percent, we come out with 12.5%. We can use the same process when we work with repeating decimals. If we divide 1 by 3 to make it into a decimal, we're going to quickly see we get caught up in a pattern. 3 goes into 10 3 times, minus 9 is 1, add another 0, bring it down, and we're going to have the same cycle happen. I'm going to divide out till at least the thousandths place, or at least when the pattern repeats beyond the hundredths place. So as a decimal, 1/3 is equivalent to 0.3 repeating. Since I went out to the thousandths place, that gives me enough digits to multiply by 100, which will move my decimal 2 places to the right, and it allows me to see that my pattern is still repeating. So 1/3 as a percent is going to be equivalent to 33.3 repeating percent, and we're going to keep the repeat bar over our pattern after the decimal. Check out the other videos in our playlist, and don't forget to click on subscribe. Thanks for watching!